welcome to Hot Topic. My in-studio guest this morning is none other than Mayor Paul McDonald from McGann Heights, also the president of the Mayor's Council. Sorry for the little delay. We had a little technical glitch, but of course, as always, Jason, the man, got us up and going. So welcome again to the live streamers. Welcome to the KUA Facebook page. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Mayor. Malik Adoro.
Good morning, Malik.
Good morning. Let's go right to the the topic of our discussion, Mayor. You were here about a month and a half ago, maybe a little longer than that. We were talking at that time it was talked about. I don't know if it was the bill was introduced at the time. We talked about, of course, the introduction of the bill to ban casino gambling at the Liberation festivities. Well, it has happened last week. The legislature had voted. It was a unanimous vote, 15 to 0, and it's just awaiting. I think the governor has until the 4th or the 5th of July to take action. What action that's going to be, we don't know at this point. The governor's office said that we're going to read all the bills in detail, and then we'll make a decision. And they have until either the 4th or the 5th of June to make that decision. But you know, we talked about this. You know, but as we move forward. In regards to what had happened, the action already taken, so that portion of the legislature is a done deal. But let me ask you, Mayor, with some of the questions that the legislature was asking, they said it lacked transparency. You know, tax years 13, 14, 15, 16, I think, were not produced. I know the legislature. I think it was Senator Morrison that attempted to have to break out to the committee of the whole to invite you folks in, as well as I think the nonprofit organization that was running this or the casino at the Liberation festivities. So can you give us again? I mean, we're reading now that some of that paperwork has been released, and that a simplified version had always been there. So what happened? Why wasn't it communicated? Is it one of those things? I mean, I understand that maybe you guys needed a hand slapping, but to me, why throw the baby out with the bathwater? Mayor, please.
You know, Jess, let me explain to you that the Mayor's Council don't have complete control of the organization.
Okay.
The organization consists of a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer.
Okay, the organization meaning the nonprofit organization.
The nonprofit organization.
The Guam Historical Society. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
And that consists of people other than mayors and vice mayors.
Okay, okay.
So when we don't have the financial report out hand, you know, there with us at the Mayor's Council.
So basically, it's kind of like if I was awarded, I was the nonprofit. It was me that I have to turn my paperwork in to Rev and Tax and things of that nature, right? So you don't have to submit that to me. What you and I have is a contract. What you and I have is a contract. So basically, you would show that I've given you X amount of money. You would show how much you got from that based from what I'm giving you, and you're liable for your expenses and what you do with that money that I've given you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for example, year 2014, that report was submitted already through who wasn't supposed to get the report, which was the auditor at the, you know. 2015 was actually being prepared by the organization, which is not the mayor's. It was the nonprofit group. So when they are completed, and you know, these people are working people. They're doing it for volunteer. And again, they're not mayors or vice mayors. They're regular constituents of volunteers. So when we get that, then of course we're going to review it, and then it goes again through the proper procedure. So what we had to do was request from them to please get us that report.
Okay, okay.
So we had received a soft copy, is what it's called, because it was being again reviewed by the authorities, which is their own auditors.
Okay.
And they were preparing it for the grand auditor, we call it, or
by the public auditor.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I'm recording it. Something.
People that are against it, the Nilalatsin Casino, they've actually blown it out of proportion. They come in and they say that we don't have our reports. Of course we don't have it because we weren't the ones preparing it.
You have your own reports based on, say, for example, if I was the nonprofit. So basically, what you're liable for is the money, the exchanges of funds that we have between me and you, and what you do with those funds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, we didn't have no funds yet because it wasn't reported to us.
Okay. Now let me ask this. I mean, because one of the things they said, we don't know who these people are. We don't know who composes what's the composition of the nonprofit, who the investors are, and I can see their point at this point. Who makes up this nonprofit? I mean, you say they have their own president and officers and all that. Who are some of these people? Do we know them? I mean, that make up the nonprofit?
At that time when it's Ray Bloss who was the chair.
At that time, so
yes.
it has evolved to somebody. So it makes up. It's different people now. I mean, I guess it can. I mean, over the years.
Yes, and again, we're meeting with Ray Bloss this week.
Okay.
We're asking him to come back to take over again because apparently Heidi had resigned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And Heidi I don't blame Heidi.
Okay.
She resigned because it was unsure of who's going to fund this year's festivities.
Okay.
And it's still the same.
Sure.
And I don't blame that lady for that.
Now, in regard, one of the things as well, they said, okay, so we have, if Ray Bloss is running the nonprofit organizations, the money had to come from somewhere. They don't know where the money's coming from, who the investors are at this point. Are there investors or investors? Are there at this point? I mean,
well, now that Angel had revealed it, and it was told that Jason, what's his name? Some Jason guy.
Rue, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's the investor, but the nonprofit folks should know that. I mean, if they sourced it out to those companies,
of course, it's all documented.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all documented. And it's properly reported.
Okay. Now, they said again, the building that went up down at Paseo. Who built that? Was that contracted out? Is that through the mayor's council, or was that built by the historical society, or was that? I mean, how was that funded?
It was contracted out.
Okay.
Of course, I guess Jason.
Okay, so he was basically they're the ones. They're the ones. Okay, it's not the mayor's council. You guys had there was a 2-year contract. I thought some things have changed since I was involved in years back in concessions and all that. It used to be on an annual basis. If I'm not mistaken, Mayor, I think you guys had a court opinion in regards to the 2-year contract that was awarded. Is that?
The court opinion,
for
the awarded the contract, yes.
Okay, so the courts.
It's legit.
It was legit.
We went through court.
Okay, and the court said it's legit.
Yes.
Okay, and the contract was legit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fast forward. Here we are. Have you guys met in emergency? Should the governor take action? Should the governor sign this into law or even veto? Because it seems to be that it's veto proof at this point. 15 to 0. So whether the governor says, vetoes it or not, they got the override power. Are you guys concerned that you guys will be sued personally, but also the government of Guam? And what's going to happen? I mean, are we going to have a carnival, parade, fireworks? I mean, is it just going to be fireworks other than the fireworks?
Jesse, it goes down to the funding source.
Okay.
and we're just waiting now.
Okay.
We don't know what the governor's going to do about it, but if I was the governor, I would veto it and let the legislature face the consequences, which is, of course, somebody's got to pay for, for the finance of the construction. And with our problems now in the government, I don't know.
Well, I mean, has the legislature, I mean, I don't know how much interaction the legislature had with you guys in regards to the funding, and whether or not they were concerned about whether the festivities and the parade's gonna go on, whether or not they've talked to you guys about what it's gonna cost if you remove this major component to it, and whether or not they had an alternative and they're ready to hand you guys a check and ready to pay for the bills that you guys will submit to the legislature. I mean, if that's the case, then you have nothing to worry about, right?
Right. But again, nobody has approached us on the on where and if we're going to get an appropriation for the finance of our liberation festivities.
So at this point, I mean, I guess it's whether you have a emergency meeting or not, you will know what to do, what road to go down. You don't have an alternative source. You guys don't know what to do within your budgets at this point. You're saying at this point, minus the revenues anticipated that you were going to get from this casino, minus this, you guys don't know how you're going to pay for the festivities.
Exactly. There's nothing more to say about it. I'm just repeating myself. Since the time the bill was introduced.
Well, no, I understand, and that's why I'm asking, because at this point, because we passed it, I would assume at this point the legislature would have come up and given you more information and give us more information to go out there whether or not we're going to have it and whether there's an alternative source. Because I know we're greatly challenged financially, the government of Guam, okay, and everybody's picking up the same trough at this point.
Yes, and it's all through balancing.
Sure.
The balancing act is what we call it. Is it more good, for us to stop, or is it more bad? When I challenged the senators when I spoke to most of them. Come up and look at the so-called casino. When you walk into that facility, you don't see one-armed bandits. You don't see no machines. They're all card games and dice. Basically, that's it. You see a bunch of old retirees. Just a handful of, I'll say Filipinos, because that's all that were there playing Pasole or the Filipino games.
Sure.
Which is control and monitor and tax collected, which is used to bump back into the,
Mayor, your folks that were against this, you mentioned Atlas and Casino, or not Casino, said the people voted 3 times already. They don't want casino. They didn't want casino. Don't gambling. And I'm saying, I think, casino gambling. You said there's no one-armed bandits. So, I'm confused by what casino means, because I've been into casino. I'm not a gambler, not a smoker, not a drinker. I've been into casinos, and I walk into a casino. If you're a machine person, there's machines. If you're a horse racing person, there's horse racing. If you bet on sports games, there's sports games betting. If you're into bingo it's got a component with that. If you're into roulette, blackjack, whatever it may be, everything under the sun that is gambling, that you can gamble on, that you can bet on, is contained within a casino. So what does casino gambling mean?
That's right. They should have asked the definition of what a casino is. Go to Saipan and look at the casino, and come back and see the liberation festivities. The number of games that you see in our festivities is just a handful compared to the regular casino.
Yeah. You know, I was looking. I mean, I think Jason on our news team did a story. I think on the casino, the new casino that is opening or opened up in Saipan. I look at that operation. I go, wow. Well, look at that. And the same token, as you guys are being told that you guys are bad guys. Okay? You guys are bad guys. I mean, you're immoral people, right? At this point, I'm seeing the projection on how much this casino is going to be making for Saipan, right? And I'm going, I mean, it must. I was drooling, I mean, I guess I'm not a gambler, but I'm going like, wow, that's a source of funding. We could do a lot of things with that.
Exactly. And it's funny, we generate just enough money to bump back into our Liberation Day to make it happen, and to have a festive month or two during the summer to remember our liberators and to celebrate our liberation.
Sure.
And that's all that we ask for.
Sure. Mayor, how long have you been a mayor now? How many terms have you been mayor now?
7 terms.
7 terms. Wow. And each term is 4 years. And even prior to that, you're from that village, Again Heights. I think you know your villagers pretty well. If not all of them, a great many of them. You probably know all the families, their challenges. You know who the village drunks are. You know who the troublemakers are and all that. And I think most village mayors know that as well, right?
Of course.
Okay. In your particular village, do you in your constituency you may have some, but in your particular village, do you have an overwhelming problem with gamblers in your village?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've been to the casino in Tijan when it was open. Okay. 3 times. I had not seen one Agana Heights individual gambling in there.
Okay.
I don't go to the casino.
Okay.
Because I don't play cards.
Sure.
And that's why people go there. Just to play cards.
Okay.
Tadsa man gaigi kisan hijung.
Pes kalau sa sumpita lokwi na email lokwi in the other villages matunga lokwi ko gua problema gi village niya, right? Whether or not they have problem gamblers, and whether or not this is again enticing them or stroking them to do that. You have, but you guys do have drug problems, right?
Drug problems, drunkers. We have smokers. Casino, especially the one in Tijan.
Home invasions?
Home invasions. Yeah. Minors don't go in there. We don't allow minors.
Okay.
We have problems with minors drinking every day in high school, in junior high school. Na para cerveza, para mabendi cerveza, para whiskey mabendi cerveza, mas baba. That is as a matter of fact, they call it syntax. Sa iso, Tupa, syntax tayo sa iso. Casino gaming tax.
It's not syntax.
It's not syntax. So, di mas baba. You go walk in the morning and you drive by the bus stop. I stop and I say, guy, you're too young to smoke. Where did you get your cigarettes? You tell me which store you get it from, and I'll tell them.
But Mayor, they solved that problem. They already raised the age to 21. I mean, didn't that solve it?
No, the kids. Most problem.
Okay. No. But I mean, the legislature, they came in their wisdom. They solved it. You have to be 21 to drink. You have to be 21 to smoke. So I don't know what you're talking about. The problem is solved, Mayor.
It's not only that they get drunk, but it's bad for their health.
Yeah.
You go home, they argue because they're drunk. They go to school, they can't learn because they're drinking. Must bob back.
So in essence, the 21 basically is maybe makes them feel good, but it didn't get to the root of the problem. It's not addressing the root of the problem.
That's right.
So it did not stop underage drinking. It did not stop underage smoking.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the fact that there's no casino gambling at the Liberation festivities, or card game, because you said it's not a full casino, it's just mostly card games and other card-related games that are ethnic related, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and I never supported casino, but especially
Sure.
when it.
Sure.
But today we need the finance to finance our hospital. That's to finance our roads, our streets need repair. And disrepair. We need to pay for our schools. Guys, that is the answer. Our funding source. They voted down the casino up in Tizen, and yet they received 200 million in Saipan that they don't know what to do with now. There's a lot of money that's being generated from, and these are not
maybe we don't
locals.
Maybe we don't have to go to New York, the bond market. We just go to Sinamai. Yeah.
Yes.
Mayor, for the folks that on TV land here, we're going to take a quick break just pause for the cause, and then we'll come back, but we're going to continue. Pause right now.